watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now, and topping the list, a mystery going now for 2 years, and it serves as a reminder about a law dedicated to protecting some of the most vulnerable among us. We're talking about newborns. Tonight, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is sharing the story of baby Wyatt. Now, the center is sharing this digitally created image showing what baby Wyatt may have looked like. So many unknowns surround this discovery. In fact, it was Oak Ridge Police who gave the unidentified little boy the name. A law in effect across Tennessee has offered safe haven for mothers of newborns who give up their child unharmed to certain facilities within 2 weeks of birth. If they do so, they won't face prosecution. That safe haven law was created after a 14-year-old from Townsend secretly delivered her baby, then abandoned it in a neighbor's shed. By the time it was found, severe dehydration had claimed the baby's life.
The most important thing is just getting the information out there about the safe haven law to women in Tennessee so that they know that this is an option that they have versus feeling scared and like they have to abandon their baby.
The process is completely confidential, with the mother receiving information on her rights, an identification wristband, and notification that her rights to the child go away after 30 days. State Senator Richard Briggs helped spearhead the effort. Now he tells us a new drop-off method is becoming a reality.
We passed a safe haven baby box law where if a woman wanted to do this completely anonymously, there are these baby boxes, and we're just opening the first one in Knox County sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Over 115 newborns have been surrendered since the safe haven law began. Baby Wyatt's profile with the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System says he was 20 inches long, around 7 pounds, with his umbilical cord still attached. Authorities also shared this picture of a shirt found wrapped around the baby boy. Anyone with any information that could help identify baby Wyatt is encouraged to call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST or contact the Oak Ridge Police Department. Our next big story for you tonight, a message from the sheriff to parents as juvenile crime detectives look into threats today against 2 Knox County high schools. Carter and Powell are the focus of the investigation. The sheriff's office tells us Powell High School was evacuated as a precaution. The school was cleared. It's not clear, though, if investigators found anything. Knox County Schools says Carter High was put on lockdown, which was lifted once deputies gave the all clear. Sheriff's office says both threats came via social media. Now, in a statement, KCSO shared with us, quote, Sheriff Spangler urges parents and guardians to have a conversation with their child or their children and explain the seriousness of these types of threats. Anyone found making a substantiated threat such as this will be arrested and face criminal prosecution, end quote. Our next big story for you, a suspect connected with a weekend shooting. Knoxville Police putting out a call for information which might help track down that suspect. 27-year-old Torrance Jones is facing a number of charges, including second-degree attempted murder for the shooting police say took place along London Circle right around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Police say Jones stands about 5'8", weighs right around 160 pounds, has brown eyes. You need to call 865-215-7165. That's the number for East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers, or you can text ** tips or reach out via social media if your information might help out. Our next big story, TBI agents looking into a complaint against a teacher. Now, the Bureau and the Campbell County Sheriff's Office confirming this tonight. The Sheriff's Office posting on Facebook that a student made the complaint. From the TBI, we're hearing that they were called in at the request of District Attorney General Jared Effler to check on an allegation of assault involving a teacher at Campbell County High School. The sheriff says the student, their parents, the principal, and a school resource officer held a meeting about the complaint back on December 16th. That investigation still active. Of course, we'll keep you posted on more answers coming from this process. Now, we've just heard back from the superintendent telling us the teacher in question has been suspended without pay, also saying the district will not tolerate any behavior that creates an unsafe or uncomfortable classroom environment. Our next Big 7 story comes as a follow-up to a big story last week. That story, the deadly crash on Magnolia Avenue. Police claim 2 drivers were drag racing, then smashing into an SUV. One of the cars smashed into a building home to a nonprofit, the Safe Haven House. Its founder now saying the organization needs a new home. Safe Haven founder Lawrence Williams is setting up a GoFundMe and writing that with the damage plus code violations, the building is unsafe and uninhabitable. You may remember we spoke last week with a woman who lived there, unable to retrieve her family's belongings after the crash. Williams explaining that the Safe Haven house offers shelter to people in need while also teaching life skills classes, offering youth programs, and collecting items for people experiencing homelessness. His GoFundMe states that the group will need a safe and sound location to keep providing those services. Moving along in our next big story list for you tonight, answers coming to light about a chase and arrest stretching from Loudoun County to West Knoxville. The man arrested 25-year-old Jamal Hewley. Now, Loudoun County's chief deputy saying Hewley was spotted going 100 miles per hour on I-75 and would not stop. Deputies followed Jamal into Knox County and say Hewley at one point was going the wrong way, heading east on I-40 West. Loudoun County deputies then decided it was just too dangerous to keep the chase going. Knox County deputies managed to catch Hewley, who now faces a list of charges, including aggravated assault, reckless driving, and driving without a license. Our Big 7 list wraps up with a youth program, Thrive, keeping its mission going despite damage from the December cold snap. Thrive provides mentoring and tutoring to at-risk youth in the Knoxville community. But on Christmas morning, a burst pipe flooded their building and left their kitchen unusable. Today, well, Thrive's after-school program was able to start up again thanks to help from Second Presbyterian Church. It's offering Thrive the use of its facility. Now, Holly Kaiser with Thrive says the kitchen is an essential part of their program.
So the dinner that we provide for most of the kids, it's the only meal that they would have besides their school lunches. So without that, it would be devastating for the kids that we promised to serve.
Thrive is still working to repair its Lonsdale location, one of 5 in and around Knoxville.